evening and welcome to the Friday, June 8th episode of the PM show. Tonight we are doing United States trivia of everything. We could literally be talking about anything tonight. Let's get rid of that real quick. Throw a little bit of love up there for ourselves. Put a little bit of PSA over here. Evening, Jay. Good to see you. Go on and share this puppy out real quick. Go figure. This site cannot be reached. Why can this site not be reached? Now it's reached. We'll go on and pop right down here. Get that posted up. Booyah. There's that. Now we'll see if that actually linked in there. It did. Boom and boom. Thank you, sir. It's one of my favorites. I don't get a chance to wear it that much anymore. Just not that many French and Indian War and Rev War events here in Michigan anymore. So I've added it to my 3 walls of costumes and 2 big piles. Hope you're doing well tonight. Really kind of surprised there's not more folks in here, but hey, you know something? It's a nice thing about doing what I do. I can sit around and wait. I have all the time in the world. Hope you had a good day at work today, sir. Really hoping the wife don't have some enormous honey-do list for you to take care of over the weekend and you actually get to spend a little J time. Oh, goodness gracious. It's a little rainy. Yeah, it didn't start raining here until this evening. So, but we're in for it pretty much all night. There's a long line of storms going out across the lake and going slightly west-northwest anyway. Coming right down at us. So hopefully no thunder boomers, no bad nothing. I think Jan said something earlier today about there being some pretty nasty weather coming y'all's way. I think I'm done with the high winds and the gale force rain and the nasty little twisty things. We've had more than enough of them around here. Hey, Derek. Nah, I just wanted to dress up tonight. Since we're doing United States history of everything, I know there's some Rev War era questions in there and everything, so I figured why not? Hope you're doing good tonight, sir. Found out today that there was not one but three tornadoes on Wednesday. One just a couple of miles from the house. Yeah, Jan said something about the town right down the road from you guys got hit. Um, the redcoats are coming. The redcoats coming. You know, I've always wanted a British redcoat. Um, Never had a chance to get one. When you go out and try to buy them brand new, they're pretty salty. Usually anywhere between $600 and $800. And I've never found one used. Well, I've never found one used when I've actually had money to get a used one. Let's put it that way. But yeah, she told me that there was one tornado in the town right next to, right down the road from you guys. Um, Another town, I guess their Kroger got hit. But yeah, she said this morning that the town not very far from you guys was pretty much decimated by the tornado the other day. Luckily, there was only like 2 injuries, no fatalities, so that was definitely good news. Yeah, Derek, for 30 years, man. 30 years I've been looking for a British redcoat. Um, Officer, all the pretty white and red wool with the pretty brass buttons and everything on it. And here's a fun fact: we kick America's butt in the War of 1812. I don't know if I'd technically call it kicking their butt. I guess. I guess. I mean, you know, and until the Southern campaign, when the British got ran out of New Orleans and everything else. Wow. That's really, really sad that so many folks, you know, are displaced and, you know, lose their homes, lose their livelihood, lose their vehicles. It's pretty sad. I am going to take this collar press off only because it is way, way, way too thick. But we'll put this one back on only because it looks cool. Much nicer, much more comfortable. A strategic retreat. It's funny, our history books tell that story differently. But oh well, we all know how much we can trust the history books to get the stories right. It's about like the 7 Years' War. You know, it's funny too. My family came here from across the ocean in 1754. Now, I could only imagine purposely buying land right in the middle of a war. I mean, that pretty much tells me they were eager to fight. especially the Scots in my family, the ones who were Hanoverian, or the ones who were Jacobite during the Jacobite uprising, wait 9 years and then come to America just for the sole purpose of fighting the British again. Hey, Jan, good to see you. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. Trying to help a neighbor find a cat. Theirs just passed. So I take it you guys don't have the same issue down there with people just randomly dropping off animals at the roadside? It's where most of our pets came from growing up. People drop off kittens and puppies along the road, and we'd find them, bring them home, and had them until they either passed on or somebody stole them. I don't know how many times I heard my mom say, if you bring home one more stray, and then a week and a half later it's like, oh, it's so small, it needs help. You know that's a stray. Shut up. I want to talk about it. I have friends that get them and have them spayed or neutered and get vaccinations. Very cool. Very cool. I like that. Always like helping the innocent little babies out. I was watching a video today. A dude was at home and kicked back, ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden, outside his front door, opened it up, and there's this little teeny tiny little gray tiger kitten. He's like, oh no, this thing kept trying to come in his house. He's like, oh no, and he'd put it back outside, get ready to close the door, and it'd run back in real quick. And he's like, oh my God, look at it, his little eyes all matted shut. And next thing you know, he's got it in his sink, and he's wiping its eye out and giving it a bath and trying to dry it off. And he's like, he's a cute little guy, isn't he? And he puts him down on the floor. He starts drinking water and stuff, and then he gives him some food, and he's telling the story about how it took him forever to get the little thing to eat. He's like, you know something, I might keep this. It's like, yeah, you went from no to I might keep this in about 30 seconds our time. That's where my cat came from. You see pictures I got on Facebook of my cat and her brother. I didn't make it when they were kittens. Yeah, I seen those pictures today when I accepted your friend request. Those are really cute. Love my kitties. Always loved my dogs. I grew up in a dog household. And, you know, now that we have Ralphie and George, I couldn't imagine what life would be like without them, especially Ralphie. Well, let's see who shows up in the next 16 minutes. Because I've got some really good U.S. trivia here. I actually started off looking for presidential trivia. And, well, needless to say, all the questions sucked. You know, who was the first president? What two future presidents served in the Continental Congress? What president was shot watching a play? I'm like, my God, my daughter could answer these, and they don't even teach history in school these days. There is no way I'm bringing these questions to a bunch of grown-ups. I have a question now. I heard over the years that the Hessians were mercenaries. Yes, yes, the Hessians were a type of mercenary. Um, they were the nasty type of mercenary. Hessians had, um, well, Hessians had they had no qualms about going to the furthest, deepest, um, well, yeah, let's just say they were very, very nasty. Hence the story of the Headless Horseman, who was, according to history, a Hessian soldier. What's behind the curtain? None. There's actually nothing but um, the regular backdrop. I've not made any changes yet. Yet. Oh. Good evening, mi amigo. How are you doing tonight, Marco? Now, we still got about 12 minutes before we start doing the questions and stuff, so if anybody has to go to the potty, get something to drink, anything like that, go for it. Hey, Terry, good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing good. Good, Marco. I'm glad to hear that. Well, Jay, I was discussing this morning um, about possibly getting depending upon what night you guys come in. I was actually going to do something on Sunday night, but Jan informed me you had to be back to work on Monday after Ghostorama. So possibly Friday night or something, we might have a regular cemetery investigation to go off and do the night before Ghostorama. I might, I says I might save one of the scariest cemeteries we've ever done and do a return trip right there in Paw Paw the night before Ghostorama. Oh, it's a cool place. That's the place that I always talked about taking my mother-in-law to when she went up the hill by herself because she kept seeing a shadow. And when she got right up on the grave, she seen this thing pop its head out behind a gravestone and look at her, or a monument and look at her. She come back down that hill like somebody stuck a ball bat up her butt. And all she said as she ran past us and straight to the car was, nope, 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 nope. Her little teeny tiny knee replacements. I don't know how she got down that hill so quick and to that car, but she did. We went down to the car, asked her what happened. She said, "I got within 15 foot of that 15 foot of that monument with my flashlight, and all of a sudden," she said, "I seen that shadow come out from around that monument, and," she said, I think I may have pooped a little. I'm not really sure, but I think I may have pooped a little." I love reading, researching history of war, history of battles, military history, Hessians, Knights Templars, especially Rommel's book of infantry attacks. And that's why I said we have got to get together someday, somehow, some way, either in Ontario or here in Michigan, and collaborate on an investigation together, because you and I are both into the paranormal and the history, and, well, that's why I registered the name Parahistoric, because I say it time and time again, what is the paranormal if not an echo of history? I even pulled out my fancy drinking goblet for you guys tonight. I've only used this thing once. Well, twice now. The Queen's pewter. Long live the Queen. Well, let's see here. Is anybody else going to show up? We have got 7 minutes. Cheers to you as well, sir. Oh, goodness gracious. Wonder why the numbers keep dropping like that. That's weird. Go up to 4 or 5, all of a sudden drop down to 1, go right back up to 4 or 5. I guess folks just have more important things to do tonight than play trivia games. Oh well. Oh, let's see here. Well, I am going to go make my run to the in-house, and I am going to go get something else to drink. Oh, that's why does it say only two in chat with Marco, Terry, Derek, J? I have no clue. I think it's just YouTube screwing up again. Mussolini, good to see you, my friend. Good evening, Santee. Glad you could join us tonight. I get a lot of flack for reading Field Marshal Erwin Rommel's book, Infantry Attacks. But he knew Rommel was a genius, dude. Rommel was a genius. Yeah, exactly. Grant, Robert E. Lee, Schwarzkopf. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, Rommel, Erwin Rommel was a complete genius when it comes to field tactics. Let me go fill this up with something real. We have 4 minutes till trivia starts. Go get your drinky poo. Nummy, nummy. I always look forward to his videos in the morning. Should be fun. You haven't missed anything yet, Squatch. We're going to start here in about a minute with U.S. trivia, U.S. history trivia. Oh yes, must have a small drinky poo. It's Friday night. And after the week I've had, by God, I deserve a little drinky poo. Everybody deserves a little drinky poo. Now if I can just make it last. I emptied my bottle. I've had 3 drinky poos. Space them. Space them. If you space them out, you can drinky poo all evening long. My dog is named Mussolini. That's a good name. Well, I thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I was saying just a little bit ago, this is only the second time I've ever used it. This is a little bit higher quality. Yeah, that stuff. Um, and now I can't remember the name of it. Pewter. It's a little bit higher quality pewter than you usually find in the reenactment. Hey, fishing. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good tonight. I can't forget Sun Tzu's The Art of War, a great read. Another genius. Hannibal. For the time period, my God, yes. My God, yes. But all right, guys, it is that time. It is time for United States trivia on everything. He's a tyrant. Did you finish the bottle of bullet I sent a while back? Yes, ma'am, I did. Yes, I did. And I think I am whiskeyed out. I have gone back to my Irish cream, and that's what I've got in there now is good Baileys. So no more Irish coffee for me until, dude, if you would have seen that bottle of bullets she sent me, it was another. God, what was that? 750? It was 750 milliliter. I think the last bottle. It was the biggest bottle they make that I've ever seen, anyway. I won't bring you another bottle. I mean, I'm whiskeyed out for now. You know, I'll wind up with. I only drink every month or so. I usually drink at least on the weekends. Maybe on those occasions when the wife wants to have a beer through the week or something like that, she'll buy me a beer. But I'll sit outside and drink a beer with her. But usually on the weekends when I'm relaxing, it is either whiskey or Irish cream, which of course you know is a dessert drink. It flavors your coffee in the morning. It's nice to drink straight right before bed or when you're playing cards or something. Let me see here. Just mixed rye with diet ginger ale. I drink every night, keeps me sane. I've got no reason to be insane because I keep myself locked in here. But all right, guys, here we go. Question 1. World War I started with the assassination of what Archduke of Austria? World War I started with the assassination of what Archduke of Austria? It is Franz Ferdinand. Franz Ferdinand. Good job, guys. I can see now I should have got some harder questions. I'm glad I didn't go with those presidential questions. When was Franz Ferdinand assassinated? When was Franz Ferdinand assassinated? It was 1914. 1914. Do you remember the month? When his car stopped? Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in June of 1914. What was the name of Germany's strategic plan at the beginning of World War I? What was the name of Germany's strategic plan at the beginning of World War I? Kills them all. Do you know the German translation for that, sir? I don't think the answer I have is going to be a correct comparison with kills them all. I mean, it could be, I guess. I don't know. I don't speak German. I don't speak German. It could be the same thing. Uh-oh, Mussolini has no clue. It was not Mein Kampf. It was the Schleifenplan. The Schleifenplan. That is. Oh, better put this little blue line here. SCHLIEFFEN. The Schleifenplan. What was PTSD called in World War I? What was PTSD called in World War I? It was, in fact, shell shock. Quick on the draw there, Mr. Santee. Quick on the draw. It was shell shock. Pew pew. Yep, that's pretty much it. Pew pew. What was the nickname of the first all-African American regiment in the war? What was the nickname of the first all-African American regiment in the war? Remember, we are in World War I right now. What was the nickname of the first all-African American regiment in World War I was thinking toxic shock. Yeah, that's when your blood gets infected. You know, toxic shock syndrome. I don't know why, but my socks were having syndromes for a second. I don't know why I couldn't get that H in there. Toxic shock syndrome. What was the name of the first all-African American regiment in World War I? Bing, 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 bing. Hey, Trapper. Good to see you, bud. The Black Devils. No, but very close, sir. Very close indeed. The very first black regiment in World War One was called the Harlem Hellfighters. The Harlem Hellfighters. Buffalo. Buffalo! What country pulled out of the war on March 3rd, 1918? What country pulled out of the war on March 3rd, 1918? I guess I should say what country, what group of men suffered premature evacuation on March 3rd, 1918? It was not Turkey. It was not Italy. Oh, dude, awesome. Awesome. I miss Cherokee. I remember when I was 11, 12 years old going down there. It is completely different. But the dancers are still down there dancing away. I look forward to seeing those pictures. What country pulled out of the war on March 3rd, 1918? It was Russia. Russia pulled out. They suffered premature evacuation. Australia. In 1914, on what day did all troops honor a temporary truce? In 1914, on what day did all troops honor a temporary truce? It was Christmas Day. Christmas Day. What German telegram intended to go to Mexico was intercepted by the British? What German telegram intended to go to Mexico was intercepted by the British? No, they're asking for the name of the telegram. It was sent by a specific individual, which the telegram was named after. And it might have been his. Missouri with kiddos at Sonic now getting food. At Sonic getting food. Kurt von Schnitzel. No, it was not von Schnitzel. It was not Tony Orlando, nor was Don involved. It was not Wolfgang von Halen. Gotta go get dinner later. Y'all have a good weekend. You too, Sante. Have a good weekend, my friend. 99% probability this Lanky is gonna pass out. Okay. Pass out. You deserve it, dude. The name of that telegram that was intended to make it to Mexico but was intercepted by the British was the Zimmer telegram. Zimmerman telegram. What weapon? Which, yeah, I know, buffering real bad for some reason and can't figure out why. Buffering very bad for some reason. What weapon, which would later change the course of war, was introduced at the Battle of Somme? What weapon, which would later change the course of war, was introduced at the Battle of Somme? No, it was not mustard gas. Not Big Bertha, it was the tank. The tank was introduced to the battlefield at the Battle of Somme. Oh no, the Gatling gun was a long time before that. It came out during the Civil War. When was the Battle of Somme? When was the Battle of Somme? Yes, believe it or not, Terry, Custer actually had 3 Gatling guns in his wagon train. If he would have waited for his wagon train like he was ordered to do, there's a very good possibility they would have won at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. But he didn't want to wait for half a day for the wagon train to catch up. But he had 3 wagon trains, or he had 3 Gatling guns on the wagon train. He just didn't want to wait. Just guessing, during the war. Yes, yeah, it was during the war, but I think they won a specific date. At least a year. When was the Battle of Somme? Patience can be a virtue, that is for sure. The Battle of Somme was in September 1916. 1916. We're in World War I right now, Ty. How many? You win some, you lose some. That's exactly right. How many German lives were lost during World War I? How many German lives were lost during World War I? I can't hear well with traffic going by and 2 kids running around. Tell them to sit. Tell them Uncle Drew said, sit down, eat their hamburgers. Mussolini says 2 million. Jay says 1 million. Waiting for the food. Okay, well, I guess they got a reason to run around then. Believe it or not, you guys are both very close. It was 1.8 million soldiers were killed during World War I. Hey, Lakeshore. Good to see you. Glad you could join us tonight. Which secret military society was responsible for Archduke Franz Ferdinand's assassination? What secret military society was responsible for Archduke Ferdinand's assassination? Which secret military society was responsible for Archduke Ferdinand's assassination? I don't know. It was a society, not military. It was indeed. The secret society which was responsible for the assassination of Franz Ferdinand was called the Black Hand. The Black Hand. Glad the family's doing good, Daryl. What nickname did American soldiers have during World War I? What nickname did American soldiers have during World War I? They were indeed called doughboys. Doughboys. Oh, there's going to be a controversy over this question. I can see that now. Very squatchy. Yeah. What was the deadliest chemical weapon utilized during the First World War? What was the deadliest chemical weapon utilized during the First World War? Believe it or not, it was not mustard gas. They had some nasty crap, even nastier than that. Oh, and I'm out. Yeah, deadliest as in killed the most amount of people. It was not napalm. I know better than to play that game. Yeah, napalm was Vietnam. What was the deadliest chemical weapon utilized during the First World War? And I know if somebody gets this right, the question is going to pop up, what is it? So I am going to pull it up here so I can tell you guys what it is. Go back over here. Let's see here. Contenders are phosgene, chlorine, and I forget the third. Nerve gas. It is not nerve gas. No, it was not mustard gas, but Carrie did just tap on it. It was phosgene. Phosgene, which when heated up becomes a deadly gas. But when it is cooled down, it can actually be shipped. It is used today in the making of plastics. But it is phosgene gas. What famous stage performer was executed for being a spy during World War I? What famous stage performer was executed for being a spy during World War I? I actually didn't think it was used much either. I thought mustard gas was the primary chemical weapon used, but I guess phosgene is deadlier than mustard gas. It is Mata Hari. Mata Hari, the famous dancer, stage performer, was executed for being a spy. During World War I. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. There was little to no proof whatsoever besides wrong place, wrong time. That was the only thing they had against her, but to them it was enough to execute her. During the First World War, what disease caused a third of total military deaths? During World War I, what disease caused 1/3 of total military deaths? During World War I, what disease caused 1/3 total military deaths? Really taxing my brain tonight. I'm trying to get them neurons firing. Pew, 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 pew. Good evening, BS. Good to see you, my friend. Freedom isn't free. Love the name. Love the name. As a vet, I love the name. It was not cholera. No, it was not gangrene. It was not syphilis. During the First World War, what disease caused a total of 1/3 of the military deaths? Lightheaded and had no balance. Not good, girl. Not good at all. It was not scurvy. Freedom isn't free. I am going to give you that one. Even though you didn't specifically tap the nail on the head, it was the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu caused 1/3 of the military deaths during World War One. Remember, it was a lot of those boys who brought the Spanish flu back to America, where it decimated a lot of America 1 decade later. COVID-3, dysentery, the Great Depression predecessor. Nope, it was the Spanish flu. And like I said, it was a lot of those soldiers returning that carried it, that brought it back to America and caused so many deaths 1 decade later. Damn it, Spanish flu. I should have realized the Spanish flu made in America. Yep. That's what I get for making assumptions. Well, here's something else you can assume. Which Native American tribe created the military code Germans couldn't decipher? What Native American tribe created the military code Germans couldn't decipher? No, believe it or not, freedom isn't free. The Navajo were the code talkers, but the Navajo did not create that code. Another tribe did. The Navajo were the code talkers, but another tribe actually created. Now I got to get all the way back down to that question because the bloody thing just. It was not the Apache. It was not the Blackfoot. It was not the Cherokee. What Native American tribe created the military code Germans couldn't decipher? It was not the Sioux. I'm an Indian outlaw, half Cherokee and fur. See if you guys remember that one. It was not the Iroquois. It was the Choctaw. The Choctaw was the Native American tribe that created the military code Germans couldn't decipher. Outlaw, outlaw. What was the name of the first tank used during the war? What was the name of the first tank used during the war. Your hint? In modern times, most men would not brag about this name. What was the name of the first tank used during World War I? Your clue: most men today would not brag about this nickname. It was not shortstop, but you're up the right idea. You're up the right alley, just not enough blocks down. It is not father. It is not Tallulah. It was not, well, that might have been the name of it, but that was not the nickname of it. They're wanting to know what the nickname was to the first tank used in World War I. It was not Big John. It was not shrinkage, but you're getting up you got the right idea going. It was not Takulu. It was not Broke Nuts. That would have been cute though. Mein Colonel, Broke Nuts is coming, Broke Nuts is coming. The name of the first tank used during World War I. No, it was not Blue Balls. It was Little Willie. Little Willie. Little Willie was the name of the first tank used in World War I. American soldiers everywhere was screaming, "Huzzah, our Little Willie." Now starting World War II. No, not Teeny Weeny, it was Little Willie. Little Willie. Now starting World War II. What two countries were involved in a military conflict before the war started? What two countries were involved in a military conflict before World War II started? It was not Germany and France. It was not Britain and Germany. You're throwing a flag on the Little Willie thing. Little Willies were artillery tractors. See, I thought they were too, but this says Little Willie was the name of the first tank. It was, Jay had it right, guys, it was China and Japan. China and Japan had a conflict going before the war was actually started. Good job, Jay. Who was the first Axis power to surrender? Who was the first Axis power to surrender? It was not Japan. Who was the first Axis power to surrender? It was Italy. Italy was the first Axis power to surrender in World War II. Good job, gentlemen. Jay, freedom, awesome. Just like the pre-war invasion of Ethiopia. Good point made. What meeting is often said to mark the start of the Cold War? What meeting is often said to have been the start of the Cold War? What meeting is often said to have been the start of the Cold War? It was not Potsdam. It was not Potsdam. What meeting is often said to mark the start of the Cold War? It is, Mr. Kerry, the Yalta Conference. The Yalta Conference is often said to have marked the start of the Cold War. Jekyll Island. Looks like I need to read a few more books. I'm going to get comfortable, boys and girls. We got 45 minutes left. I am getting comfortable. Throw that little tie right over there. Next question. What Axis leader was imprisoned on July 24th, 1943? What Axis leader was imprisoned on July 24th, 1943? This is kind of funny. I want to see if he gets it. I want to see if he gets this. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but I want to see if he gets this right. It was Mussolini. Mussolini was imprisoned on July 24th, 1943. I was waiting for Mussolini to answer the question. That's why I kept saying, I wonder if he'll get it, I wonder if he'll get it. No, sir, it was Mr. Benito Mussolini. He kind of gave us the answer. Very touchy subject here, but it is part of our history, and I will not silence history. How many Jews were killed during the Holocaust? How many Jews were killed during the Holocaust? It was a little over 6 million. It was a little over 6 million. Yep, they say somewhere between 6 and 6.5 million. What was the last major German offensive campaign in the war? What was the last German offensive campaign in the war? Refresh your page. BS. If it's lagging really bad, refresh your page. What was the name of the last major German offensive campaign in the war? It was the Battle of the Bulge. The Battle of the Bulge. Everybody knows the answer to that one. Willie Joe. Willie Joe was the name of what type of art popular during this time? Willie Joe was the name of what type of art popular at this time? Willie Joe was the name of what type of art popular at this time? It was not finger paints. Romanesque? No. It was not a scratch and sniff. I mean, that's a good answer, though. But it was not a scratch and sniff. Think back, ladies and gentlemen. What type of art did all troops have access to? What type of literature did all troops have access to during the war? It was not a etch-a-sketch. Willie Joe was the name of what type of art popular during this time? Graffiti that said Kilgore was here. 20 after 8. I'm losing you guys already. It was not naked artwork. Oh yeah, the hobo art. Dad's sack. Pin-ups. All great answers. None of them are right. Not or by numbers. Not sad sack. Willie Joe was the name of a comic strip. Willie Joe was the name of a comic strip. Not a carving. A comic. Comic. What was the longest battle of the war? What was the longest battle of the war? What was the longest battle of the war? No, it was not Stalingrad. It was not the Warsaw Ghetto Battle. Not Guadalcanal. I do not know. I do not know if Little Joe, um, or yeah, Willie Joe, um, came from Life of Joe. I do not know. It was not Normandy. It was not the Battle of the Pacific. But you are so close. It was not the Battle of France. What was the longest battle of the war? It was the Battle of the Atlantic. Good job, Mr. Mussolini. It was the Battle of the Atlantic. What was the first Nazi concentration camp? What was the first Nazi concentration camp? Battle of the Atlantic, it lasted the whole war. Yes, it did. What was the name of the first Nazi concentration camp? It was not Auschwitz. It was not Birkenau. It was Dachau. Dachau was the first Nazi concentration camp. Here is something for you aviation experts out there. What type of plane dropped the first atomic bomb? What type of plane dropped the first atomic bomb? It was the B-29. The B-29 bomber dropped the first atomic bombs. Good night, Terry. You have a good evening, have a nice weekend, and we will see you next week. It was the B-29 bomber. What was the name of the research and development project that developed the atomic bomb? What was the name of the research and development project that developed the atomic bomb? It was the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project. Good job. Here's one that'll make you think. What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy? What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy? Oh, no, no, no. Just what type of plane it was. Sorry, Jan. Notre Dame. It was not Omaha Beach. Well, no. That's close, Mussolini. I'm going to go on and give it to you since you probably just laid clues out with that name. It was Operation Overload. Operation Overload. Operation Overload was the code name for the Battle of Normandy. Which country lost the most lives during the war? Which country lost the most lives during the war? It was not America. It was not Germany. It was Russia. Russia lost the most lives during World War II. Oh, bloody hell. Wish I knew why this thing kept jumping. Now I got to go all the way back down and find out where I was again. Hey, Brooke. Brooklyn. Good to see you, dear. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. What was the name of the famous battle commonly referred to as the Ardennes Offensive? What was the name of the famous battle commonly referred to as the Ardennes Offensive? Remember all the pics of Russians waiting in line for bread? Caught you live finally. Yep, I is here. I've been under the weather a little bit, so I've not been on as much this week. This is the 6-year anniversary of my coma. The 5th of this month was the 6-year anniversary of my double death. Not to mention I have other things going on, so everything's just been kind of weighing on my mind and stuff lately, and it's been a rough week, but I'm here. The week's over. Hopefully the month will hurry up and get by us, and I won't think about it at all whatsoever. Hopefully again, because in October I got a feeling that those of you that come to Ghostorama might see your old buddy Drew get hypnotized to forget about the nasty things that's happened in the past. I actually slept quite a bit today, Jan. I laid down right after the video premiere this morning. I had to talk to Danny about some upcoming investigations, and I dozed off a couple times talking to him. So when Danny and I got off the phone, I went to sleep. What was the name of the famous battle commonly referred to as the Ardennes Offensive? Say a prayer for Papa Carey. He's got COVID. Oh my God, that poor guy. Yeah, definitely, guys, keep Papa Carey in your prayers. My God, that poor guy. Jesus, God Almighty. Thank you very much, Freedom. I appreciate that. Um, I was I was uh, I was put in a coma on the 5th. I was released from the hospital like the 18th. So I've got basically 10 more days until I'm out of that memory stage again. Um, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Like I said, it's been 6 years, and I don't know why the memories and everything come rushing back now, but for some reason they did. Oh yeah, I'm okay, Brooke. It's been years, honey. I've been fine. I've just for some reason depression and the memories and things just kind of come rushing back, and I don't know why. But when I co-hosted Unrestricted Paranormal last night, Lorna Reynolds was our guest from New York. Um, she does a lot of hypnotherapy, hypnosis. She's a paranormal investigator. She works with people who have had huge issues with things in the past, and I think it's yeah, it is PTSD. I was diagnosed with PTSD before our clinic transferred my psychologist to another location that I can no longer see her at. But yeah, it's definitely PTSD. What was the name of the famous battle commonly referred to as the Ardennes Offensive? It was the Battle of the Bulge. Battle of the Bulge. What war, also the most destructive battle in history, was considered the turning point to the war? What war, also the most destructive battle in history, was considered the turning point to the war? It was not Midway. I'm sorry. That question was, what war, also the most destructive battle in history, was considered the turning point to the war? It was Stalingrad. The Battle of Stalingrad. It was a cold January night. Yes, it was a cold January night. What was the title of the book that Adolf Hitler wrote while in prison for high treason? What was the title of the book Adolf Hitler wrote when in prison for high treason? I am going to run to the in-house real quick. You guys think it over. I'll be right back. Oh, let me see here. What was the title of the book Adolf Hitler wrote while in prison for high treason? It was Mein Kampf. Mein Kampf. How to Run a War for Dummies. There you go. Yeah, this was before that, Fish. This was a while before that. It was Mein Kampf. What year was Hitler appointed the Chancellor and President of Germany? What year was Hitler appointed the Chancellor and President of Germany? (1933, 1929, 1932, or 33, 36, 39? No, 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 and no, and no. It was not none of those. And honestly, Fishing, there are so many stories about what happened to Hitler. Of course, everybody knows the one about him committing suicide in the bunker. Somebody else says, what in the world? Why is this doing this? Oh, we know it's charging slowly. It always charges slowly. What the hell? But honestly, nobody knows what really happened. It was 1934. 1934. Hitler was appointed the Chancellor and President of Germany. What year was Adolf Hitler nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize? What year was Adolf Hitler nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize? They lose me right after the bunker scene. They lose a lot of people because no one actually knows what happened. One person says he committed suicide in the bunker. One person says he was killed by American troops. One person says he was killed by his own men. One person says he never died at all. He went to South America. Who knows what happened? 39 or 40? It was 39. 39. Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Probably people held at gunpoint. Those were probably the ones that nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize. I am trying to make this a better world. Nominate me. Civil War. American Civil War. What was considered the turning point in the American Civil War? What battle was considered the turning point? It was Gettysburg. Gettysburg was considered the turning point. It was the road to Washington. It could either be defended or conquered. What was the bloodiest single day during the American Civil War? What was the bloodiest single day? September 17th, 1862 is correct. And it was the Battle of Antietam. September 17th, 1862 was the Battle of Antietam, the single bloodiest day battle of the American Civil War. What was the name of Robert E. Lee's horse? What was the name of Robert E. Lee's horse? His horse's name was Traveler. Traveler. What phrase first appeared on American currency during the American Civil War? I don't know if that was a Sunday or not. It very well could have been. And the phrase to first appear was, "In God we trust." Not "I'm God we trust," "In God we trust," but I know what you meant. Damn those typos all to hell. Who were the two presidents in office during the Civil War? Who were the two presidents in office during the Civil War? It was Lincoln and Davis. Lincoln and Davis. Man, that was short-lived. Damn. 1861 through 1865, and it was pretty much 5 questions. Wow, whoever made up this list of trivia questions sure didn't like the Civil War. When did the American Revolutionary War end? When did the American Revolutionary War end? What year? I used to read about the Civil War all the time. I'm 38, got out of it. Really need to get back into my history. 1780. Nope. Thank you, Mussolini. I appreciate it. Not 1780. Not 2035. Not 1778. Now I got to go all the way back down here again because the bloody thing just shut down again. Wish I knew why it was doing that. When did the Revolutionary War end? Let's see here. 80, 78, 2035, 81, 14. It was 83. The bloody thing. I always say that, Mussolini. I've said that for years. I always say the bloody thing. How did the Revolutionary War end? How did the Revolutionary War end? It was the surrender at Yorktown of General Cornwallis. When did Congress adopt the Stars and Stripes as the country's official flag? When did Congress adopt the Stars and Stripes as America's official flag? What year? It was not 1778. It was not 1776. It was not 1790. When did Congress adopt the Stars and Stripes as the country's official flag? It was not 1800. The war ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris. Well, officially it did, but the battle actually ended, or the battles actually ended with Cornwallis surrendering his sword at Yorktown. The Congress adopted the Stars and Stripes as this country's official flag on June 14th, 1777. 1777. Did George Washington's teeth have termites? That's actually a very, very good question. But it's a known fact that George Washington's teeth were not made out of wood. He actually had a very expensive set of sheep's teeth. Sounds gross as hell, boys and girls, but Washington's teeth were made out of sheep's teeth. How many people signed the Declaration of Independence? How many people signed the Declaration of Independence? How many people signed the Declaration of Independence? It was not 19, it was not 25. It was a lot, but we need a number. How many is we the people? It was not 16, it was not 27. How many founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence? More or less than 50. I like that. It was actually a little more than 50. Most states had 2 representatives. Some had more. It was less than 59. It was more than 53. Nope, not 55. It was 56, 56. It was 56. 56 people signed the Declaration of Independence. Which founding father thought the Declaration of Independence should be rewritten every 19 years? Which founding father thought the Declaration of Independence should be rewritten every 19 years? It was not John Adams. It was Thomas Jefferson. It was Thomas Jefferson who believed the Declaration of Independence should be rewritten every 19 years. Wow. I don't know how we all of a sudden jumped to this, but okay. What were the 3 most popular herbicides and defoliants used during the Vietnam War? I don't know why this does this, guys, but for some reason it jumps to one question about Vietnam and goes back to the Revolutionary War. What the fuck is a herbicide? It's something they spray on crops for crop control. Agent Orange is one of them. What were the 3 most popular herbicides and defoliants used during the Vietnam War? Agent Orange is one of them. Roundup was not one of them. No clue on the others. The 3 herbicides and defoliants used during the Vietnam War were Agent Blue, Agent Green, and Agent Orange. We have time for one more question, it looks like. How long did the American Revolutionary War last? Paradust. There you go. Saltpeter. That's even better. How long did the American Revolutionary War last? How many years? How long did the American Revolutionary War last? How many years? Let me see here. We have got 4 years, 8 years, 7 years. And we have no, and no. Glad you enjoyed it, Mussolini. I love doing trivia nights on here. Sometimes I find some really fun, cool, easy trivia. Sometimes it gets so bloody hard that we just quit playing and just mess around for the entire time. Regardless, we have fun. You take care of yourself, Mussolini. It was good seeing you, my friend. Glad you could come in and hang with us. We will catch you first of the week. It was actually more than 16. Oh, okay. Not leaving till the final sign-off? Good. Well, that's coming here real soon, guys. The Revolutionary War lasted 19 years, from 1765 until 1784. 1765 till 1784. And there you have it, guys. United States trivia on everything. But that'll do it for tonight. Glad y'all could stop in for a while, play a little bit, forget about all the BS in the world for a while, and just have fun together. But that'll end us all for tonight and for the week. Y'all have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Don't be a Drew. Don't let the shit happening in the world drag you down. Stand tall, stand strong, be yourself, be loyal to yourself and your family. Don't be a Drew. I'm getting over it. Monday, I'll be even better. But until then, you guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless. I will, Jan. Don't worry. Don't worry. And I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Mussolini. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll see y'all first of the week. You guys all take care.